Ladies and gentlemen, I'm wearing this particular shirt and it says hashtag babies lives matter. Hashtag BLM. It's the new BLM. It's what I like to represent, especially for our channel, The Advocates for Children. We also have another hashtag that we use a lot on this channel, and that hashtag is hashtag date thugs, date death. And what that means is it does not mean that every person who has lived a risky lifestyle when it comes to males is bad for kids or bad for a relationship. But what it does mean is that you need to look at your situation and see if it's conducive for your children. In my humble opinion, if you're not living a reputable lifestyle, if you are not a law-abiding citizen, then you probably should not be around kids. That's my personal opinion, and I feel like we gotta start putting our children first, okay? That's the reason why I do what I do. Now, with this story coming out of Toledo, Ohio, 2 young boys are dead, and one of the other one, and the third one is actually in intensive care right now because we're hoping that that child survives, but it's in critical condition right now. And y'all see these babies on my screen. I did the best that I could to try to give you guys as many pictures as possible, so that way as we talk about this story, you can see the faces of these beautiful, innocent kids who could not speak for themselves and could not defend themselves against mom's boyfriend. I just personally don't think that's fair, right? Why should children have to fight our battles? Does everybody understand where I'm coming from? Why should our children have to fight our battles? We make a messed up choice, get with somebody who is mad at us, and that person takes it out on our children. Like I say, not all of these situations are avoidable, but some of these things are just pretty damn common sense, which I'm getting ready to present that with this story, okay? And y'all forgive me on my coughing, I'm gonna try to fix it. The shooting occurred on the 800 block of Burnport Drive on Friday evening. Toledo police officers arrived and found 3 boys inside the apartment, all of them suffering at least 1 gunshot wound. The children were treated at the scene before being taken to the hospital. The children, as you guys can see, let me see if I can get a bigger picture of them up here so you guys can see these babies. I'm gonna pause that picture right there. I want y'all to look at these babies, and they are babies. Look at these babies' faces, and y'all tell me, when you look into their eyes, you can see their soul. What could these children have done to make anybody this level of upset at them that you decided to ruin them and take their life? If you ask me, there is nothing on this earth that neither one of these boys could have done to deserve what their mom's boyfriend did to them. Not a single thing. No excuse for this. We have 5-year-old Amir Phillips. Did I skip? No, I didn't. Amir Phillips, who was 5 years old, and Gabriel Phillips, who was 1 year old, died at the hospital. 4-year-old Ashton Phillips underwent surgery on Saturday morning at CS Mott Children's Hospital in Ann Arbor, but like I say, he's currently in critical condition. On Sunday evening, Ashton's father, and I think I have his interview, so I'll let you guys hear his voice if y'all want to hear that. Ashton's father told the news that Ashton is stable. They took him off sedation this morning to see if his body would respond. He started moving his hands and legs, and please put a prayer hands up in the chat for that. Most human beings, adults, would not survive multiple gunshot wounds, and it sounds like this baby will. So let's put a prayer hands up in the chat for that. It's a smidgen of positive information. So that is so good, okay? They put him back under to continue to heal. I'm going to go back to the hospital tomorrow to talk to the neurosurgeons. On Monday morning, Toledo police said Ashton's condition had been upgraded to a stable condition, although he is still fighting for his life. So please understand, with something like this, anything could go wrong, but we're going to pray that this baby is going to survive. The Lucas County Coroner's Office released the autopsy reports for the death of Gabriel and Amir on Saturday morning. Their causes of death were found to be multiple gunshot wounds, according to the autopsy. The coroner's office also ruled their deaths as homicides, which we already knew that, okay? The Toledo Police Lieutenant Daniel Gherkin said that officers believed the situation was a domestic situation between the boyfriend and the mom, okay? The suspect, whose name is Kevin Moore, who's 27 years old. Let me see if I can get this idiot's face on my screen. Y'all look at this. And I want y'all to understand that this is who mom was dealing with. 27-year-old Kevin Moore, and apparently this man's love was worth more than the children's lives. There's a reason that I'm saying that, so don't get mad, all right? Hold your judgment until I give you all of the information, because I'm sure that's the biological father, and I'm sure he will agree with what I'm about to say. This dude is 27 years old, and he was arrested on the scene. He is the boyfriend of the children's mother, whose name is Crystal Marie Andrews, but she was uninjured. I want y'all to hear that again. That dude was so mad at the mom, but the mom was not injured. But all of her children were. Does anybody want to take a guess as to what I mean when I say that? Because I'm not saying that the mom should be dead, but what I'm saying is it's a bit odd that the mom survived with no injuries, no defensive wounds, no nothing, but all 3 children are dead. Excuse me, no, they're not. 2 of the 3 are dead. All 3 of them were shot. So let me make a retraction. They're not all dead. 2 of them have passed away. 1 of them is in critical condition. All 3 of them were shot. So I apologize for saying that wrong. It slipped. Okay? According to a post on social media that Andrews made, she was not home at the time of the assaults. The mom was not home at the time of the assaults, as she was helping her mother with a moving truck. She says she came home and discovered her children were shot. Does anybody see a problem with that so far? Well, I do. Can I raise my hand and say, yes, DJ Just Jay, what do you see as the problem here, sir? This man is not the father of any of these 3 children. As a matter of fact, let me tell y'all how stupid some men are, because it ain't all, but let me tell y'all how stupid some men are, especially thugs. Most men don't like dealing with women that have kids because those kids remind that man of the man that the woman just got through sleeping with, especially when the children are very small. It's a very big, large reminder of the man that mom just got done dealing with, and the fact that the mom still has to deal with that man if that man is going to be a father in those children's lives. For a man who is weak emotionally and mentally on the inside, might have a lot of trouble dealing with that. Not somebody like me, but I'm a different type of person all the way around. But I'm hoping that y'all understand where I'm coming from. Mom was not home. Mom did not give the children to the biological father to babysit his own kids or maybe his side of the family. Mom left these children who were already in danger with the boyfriend. And I want y'all to look at this dude's picture. Let me see if I can get his face back up here. When y'all look at this face, What about that face says to y'all, yeah, that seems like a good guy. He seems like he'd be a great babysitter for my 3 children who I didn't have by him. Huh? Is there anything about that man seems like he'd be a great babysitter? Because if not, just because you like sleeping with the dude, why the hell would you leave your kids with him? Am I being an ass right now? Am I just being too mean? Please, that's why we have the live chat. If I'm being too mean, please let me know. Also, don't forget, while you're watching this, please click the thumbs up, share this stream, let more people know that we're live, because I do want people to have their opinions about this. Okay? Let me know if I'm being too mean. And matter of fact, y'all look at that sign in this picture right here. It says Black Lives Matter here. Do they really though? Do Black Lives really matter to Black people? I'm not so sure, considering almost every story that we've talked about on our channel have been Black lives lost at the hands of Black people. But I digress. That's a topic for another day. Let's move on. The mom left her kids with the boyfriend shot the kids. Matter of fact, you also would have to think that that's pretty damn stupid of the mom to have an argument with her boyfriend while the boyfriend has access to your kids and you're not even anywhere around your kids. Let's move on. Moore was booked into the Lucas County Jail on 2 counts of aggravated murder and 1 count of felonious assault. The news will reach out to Andrews to hear from her when she is ready. And I'm sure we won't hear from the mom, but we'll see. A neighbor who lives nearby said that there have been shootings in the apartment complex before, but she has never seen a police presence like the one there Friday night. Now, detectives have opened, and matter of fact, that's a problem too, the fact that we live in these dangerous neighborhoods, these thug zoos. We might have to start calling that the projects. These hood-ass apartments, projects, or wherever the hell that have high crime rates, high violence rates. Why would you continue to keep creating kids and bringing kids into these violent situations? Detectives have opened an investigation. If you have any information about this incident, call Crime Stoppers 419-255-1111. The news will continue to bring you the latest developments on air, online, and on their news app. Here is part 2. Are y'all ready to hear about his criminal history and why I would call him a thug? Why would I call mom's boyfriend a thug? It's not because he's Black, because thug does not have a color attached to it. I repeat, for the people listening in the back, thug does not have a color attached to it. A thug is a state of mind and a behavior. A thug is a state of mind and a behavior. So let me tell you about the type of man that mom had her kids around. Let's talk about this. A search of court documents reveal that the man who was accused of shooting 3 small children on Friday has a long criminal history in the state of Florida. That guy. Hashtag jailbird. Yes. Let's talk about mom's candidate to have around the kids. That man, Kevin Moore, is suspected of shooting 3 of the children. 2 of them have passed, unfortunately. 1 of them is currently in critical condition, but stable. In 2 separate incidents, Moore pleaded guilty to charges of domestic violence and resisting police officers in 2 separate incidents. In November of 2014, mom's boyfriend was arrested by the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office on battery domestic violence, false imprisonment, opposing an officer with violence, and battery on a law enforcement officer. If that wasn't bad enough, let's keep going. After initially pleading not guilty in 2015 of December, Moore pleaded guilty to those 4 charges. He is credited with time served in jail. Less than 1 year later, August of 2016, mom's boyfriend was arrested once again on domestic battery charges and violently resisting an officer, this time by the Temple Terrace Police Department. Charges include domestic battery by strangulation, tampering with a witness, and resisting an officer with violence. Is the point that I'm making clear yet? Oh, y'all say it's not? It's not clear yet that this dude ain't shit? Okay, let's keep going. A police report on that incident says that Moore, mom's boyfriend, slapped and choked a female victim. Parts of the victim's written statement are redacted because juveniles were mentioned. But the statement says in part, it says redacted, we're arguing about a coloring book and he got angry and that didn't reprimand and that I didn't reprimand the redacted name, so he slapped me. The rest of the statement goes on to say that Moore prevented her from calling 911 and he put his arm up against her neck. She was able to get away from the situation with her kids. Again, another woman with kids. And these thug dudes, they get sex from women so easily. They get around women's kids so easily. It's funny how, and shout out to Tommy, it's funny how these boyfriends, these random thug lying dudes get to be around these kids as much as they want, and these women are as much as they want, but the biological fathers, y'all expect for them to go fight for these kids and go to court for these kids and beg the biological moms to see these kids. That's a bit asinine. A father should not have to beg to see his kids, all the while mom is laying up under a thug who has a long criminal rap sheet. He pleaded guilty on those charges and he was given credit for time served. He was ordered to have no contact with his victim. He pleaded guilty on the above listed charges and once again was given credit for time served in order to have no contact with his victim. Temple Terrace, Florida is near Tampa in Hillsborough County. Moore did not have a criminal record in Toledo prior to the alleged murders, but he did have a criminal history, which mom would have known if she would have done a simple background check. Why would you not? Before you send your kids to school, you do a background check on the school. You check up to make sure that the schools are good for your kids. You do a background check before you take your kids to a babysitter. Why would you not do a background check if you're going to have somebody living in your house and be around your kids and have them babysitting your kids? That's just stupidity on the parents' part. But let me give you guys the fair usage. Let's listen at the news videos.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
As a matter of fact, if you guys are watching right now, if you understand where I'm coming from, you could take the survey in the chat. Also, if you would, click that thumbs up, share the stream, bring more people in. Click that thumbs up. Let's get it.
We start off with a breaking news alert, the latest from the deadly shooting in South Toledo earlier today. It happened at the Burnport Apartments in South Toledo right around 5 o'clock. Police now tell us 27-year-old Kevin Moore shot his girlfriend's 3 children. A 5-year-old and 1-year-old were killed. The other, a 4-year-old, is in critical condition tonight. Moore is in the Lucas County Jail on 2 counts of murder and 1 charge of assault. We have team coverage of this tragedy. Roxana Elias met with a community leader about what she wants done about the violence at that apartment complex. But we start tonight with Michael Tater, who talked to shaken neighbors grieving these small children. Michael.
That's right, Melissa. I don't think anyone can really put into words what happened here today. Even at this hour, we see neighbors peeking through windows, looking out of their doors towards the crime scene, trying to make sense of exactly what happened. And many I spoke to, frankly, telling me they're horrified by the incidents here today. Now, one neighbor that I spoke to who lives just a few doors down from the crime scene says she heard several gunshots. She looked out the window and saw a man outside shooting into the air right before police arrived. And then when they did, he actually pointed his guns at those officers. Another neighbor that I spoke to said she's lived here for over 10 years and she's never seen the police get to a scene and to this complex as soon as they did today. But she says neighborhoods like these need more help.
Try to kind of get attention to places like, families who live here at low income. I feel like often we're given the brunt of, not as enough resources to, give people what they need so they don't have to, resort to violence.
Did y'all hear what they just said? Let me rewind that. People need more resources, but like I just said, the fact that these neighborhoods are that dangerous and you continue to keep producing kids, does it not, are we just that unintelligent that we can't see death and murder around us and we keep bringing kids into that situation? It's a little bit strange. I don't think any type of resources will fix that.
Attention to places like, families who live here at low income. I feel like often we're given the brunt of, not as enough resources to, give people what they need so they don't have to, resort to violence.
And now many neighbors that I spoke to understandably did not want to go on camera, but many of them telling me they're parents and they're very scared by all of this. Melissa?
Michael Tater reporting live in South Toledo. Thanks so much. And Michael, one more thing. You did talk with some of the family members tonight. What are they telling you about this?
That's right, Melissa. I actually happened to run into the sister-in-law and the mother's brother here at the complex. Understandably, they did not want to go on camera as one of her children is still fighting for his life. But they did tell me that they have just as many questions as we do about exactly what happened here tonight.
Michael, thank you so much. Well, the complex is no stranger to violence. 31-year-old Alex Day died in November of last year when he was shot there in the back of the head. 32-year-old Davio Galladay died after being shot 6 times in September. Back in October of 2015, Richard Villavovos was stabbed after an argument turned violent.
Okay, I think y'all get the point. Let's move on to the next video. Here is the biological father, and if you guys can hear this, let me know. If I need to turn it up or adjust his audio, let me know. But this is the biological father of those kids, who, if mom was going to leave those kids with anybody, she should have left the kids with the dad. And I'm sure that broke his heart, man. But let's listen to what dad had to say.
You can start whenever you're ready.
Okay. All right, just so we have the name correct, just say your first and your last name and spell it out for me.
Jaquil Phillips, Jaquillips.
Okay, and your relationship to the kids?
The father.
Okay. First, I just want to say, from everyone at Channel 11, we have our deepest condolences to your family. I know this is hard to put into words, but just what are you feeling right now?
Man. This loss, broken. I just miss my boys.
Tell me about yesterday, how the day started and how you found out about the news, what was going through your mind.
I was at my grandma's house because she just passed from COVID on January 15th. And my girlfriend called me and told me that my son had been shot to get to his mom's house. So when I got out there, officers told me that all 3 of my boys were shot, and told me they're all at the hospital, and that's pretty much all they told me there. I went to the hospital, and they had police, like 4 or 5 police officers surrounded me, and they really didn't tell me anything for 45 minutes to an hour. And then finally the detective came out and said I can go back. So he took me to a room and talked to me.
What's going on, guys, in the chat? If y'all can hear me, let me know. Give me a thumbs up in the chat. Also, don't forget, please click that thumbs up. If y'all can hear him okay, let me know. But I think that's about as high as I can turn the audio without distorting it. Maybe about right there.
And then he told me that Gabriel and Amir didn't make it, and that Ashton is being worked on. So
take your time.
he said that I could go back there and see him. So I went back there and I kissed their hands and I kissed their foreheads. And then they escorted me out the building and told me to go home. And detective gave me his number and told me that if I need anything or if I needed anybody to talk to call him. But only officers that really was any of their helpers, the detectives. They was like the only people that are actually talking to me and giving me answers. Everybody else is just there, just ignoring my questions and everything. So
What's the latest on Ashton right now?
he is a medically induced coma right now, and they had to remove the left part of his skull to reduce the swelling on his brain. And
So they're talking about the son that survived. That's what he's talking about right now. So he had to have part of his skull removed. Well, back that up because I kind of interrupted him.
on his brain, and he has internal bleeding right now, but he's stable for right now.
Any prognosis, or it's too early to tell?
It's too early to tell right now.
Okay.
They said the bullet came out of his jaw and shattered his jaw and dislocated it. So, man, they can't put it back together until the swelling from the bullet going in to go away.
Okay. Let's go on a more positive note. Talk to me about your three sons. Tell me about them.
Amir, he just loves everything. Amir, he's just sports, trophies. He loves fixing stuff, everything, anything to do. He was always with his grandma and his uncle. His uncle did roofing and construction and cars. So he had all the tools over there to fix and play with, and helmets and everything. And Ashton, he just loved music and balls and sports, and loved being a boy. And Gabriel, he's just one. Just learning how to walk. I was just holding him as a baby. It's just
Now, I'm only going to ask you about this because you posted it on Facebook. You had said that you had wanted the kids in your custody.
Yes.
Without going into too many details, tell me what the kids meant to you, and in the lightest details, what the situation was with the mother. I don't want to play a blame game or anything like that, but what are your feelings at the the suspect is in custody, the person that they believe is responsible for this. Does that give you any type of closure that
No.
that person is
It doesn't give me
right now?
no closure that he's behind bars, because he can get life, but he's still living. He's still doing everything he can do. He'd be behind bars. He's not out here, but my kids will never be able to grow up. Never see my kids again. I've never heard my kids. Never, nothing. So he's just, and all they're gonna do is be like, hey, get life. Which means nothing to people like him. Like, okay, well, I still get 3 square meals a day. So.
Well, y'all know he is hot at mom's boyfriend. Damn. But like I was just saying in the chat, I could admire the fact that he's calm, he's collected, he's composed. I don't know if it could have been me, man. I don't know.
How, and this is a difficult question, you don't have to answer if you don't want. Other families have gone through similar things. Within the past year, we had 62 homicides in Toledo. A lot of those kids, a lot of those teenagers. How do we stop this from happening? Much of this is
For the teenagers, we just gotta keep the guns away from the teenagers somehow. Limit their access to the parents' guns, the grandparents' guns. Go to their friend's house. Everybody gotta like put their guns up. If you can't buy a safe for a gun, don't buy a gun. Like putting it on top of the refrigerator out of the kids' reach is not doing it anymore. These kids are smart. They can climb on stuff. They can get up there. And as for like the little kids, like these kids, they don't ask to be brought into this world. We bring them into this world, and as a mother and father, we need to protect them and show them the way that like we're supposed to be doing. We just can't be just putting them to the wayside and just doing whatever because we don't feel like being parents anymore.
What he said right there was very important. And like I say, and I think that's really what responsible parents do, is we just point the finger at ourselves and say it's our responsibility as mom and dad to make sure and protect and raise our kids to the very best of our abilities. So I admire him and I respect him for saying that.
This is crazy to me. I don't understand it because my kids are my world. Like, I had 8 kids. I have 5 that's living, and my kids are my world. Well, 6. And my kids are my world. Like, I give up anything for my kids. And I've told Crystal before, if she couldn't take care of them or raise them or protect them, to just give them to me. I'll take my kids.
the last thing I'll ask you is, how do you want your children to be remembered by this community that I'm sure over the next couple of days, and you probably already have seen messages online of love and support and prayers. How do you want your 3 kids to be remembered?
Just vibrant, loving little boys. Always had smiles on their faces. Always ready to play with anybody's kids. They didn't care who it was. They're just loving little boys. So that's how I want them to remember Amir and Gabriel, because Ashton's still fighting.
So Ash is still fighting, man. And again, put a prayer hands up in the chat, because I hope that baby survives. We got a couple more videos. I'm going to let these play real quick. These are just the news videos. So let me try to let these play out.
And a shooting in Toledo, Ohio left 2 children dead overnight. Police.
All right, as we're told you, we have breaking news right now. Multiple juveniles shot in South Toledo. The story just developing over the last hour and a half at Burnport Apartments, not far from Airport in Bern. Michael Tater is live with what we know right now. Michael, talk to us.
We want to get you back out to that breaking news we first brought you at the top of this show. Multiple people have been shot at a South Toledo apartment complex.
Yeah, we're going to check in with our own Michael Tater, who is on the scene right now. Michael, what do we know?
Well, Jeff, right now there's a strong police presence. You can actually see Airport is actually shut off right now. The police, a police car up there is leading people in and out that live in the complex. But I'm going to turn the camera back over here. You can see Officers are in the back of the complex investigating on scene. What we know right now is multiple juvenile victims were confirmed here at 841 Burnport and Airport. We do not have any update on the conditions of those victims or how any of this started. Toledo police confirmed that they have crews on the scene here investigating, trying to figure out exactly what happened. And we will be doing the same to try to figure out exactly what led to this shooting. Reporting live in South Toledo, Michael Tater, WTOL 11.
And as hard as this is going to be, and you know what? Here's the funny part about this, and it's not funny, but let me give you guys my closing thoughts about this particular story, and then I'm gonna read you guys messages right after this, okay? But let me say this, because I got to get this off my chest. I've had people who I've done stories about that are willing to fight harder to take my channel down, to take my videos down, to silence my voice, to send family members out to write me on social media, email me death threats and all kind of stuff. And I think to myself, because I'm a strong dude, I can deal with that shit, right? And I think to myself, I'm like, damn, they fight me harder. The advocates for children, which is us, it's not a me thing, it's a we thing. They're willing to fight the AFC harder than they fight for their own children. Now, please, somebody let me know when I've said something that is not factually accurate. They are willing to fight us harder, our message harder, our hashtags harder, our beliefs harder than fighting for the survival of their own children. That is absolutely where the blame has to be put, at the feet of the people who had access and those who are responsible, which includes mom and her boyfriend. I'm telling you guys, it was not that hard to look this man's criminal record up and find out that he had a rap sheet that's longer than the I-35 bridge. I mean, that's just insane. Our children should not have to fight our battles. Children should not have to fight because of our bad choices. Parents should fight for their children by not putting them in bad situations. Whether that be low-income housing. If you don't have the money, then don't bring kids into this world. Look, I've done it my damn self. So I'm pointing the finger not only at people who do it, but at myself, because I am also responsible that I could have put my daughter in a much more advantageous position. As a father, I could have done better. But that's where the teaching starts. It starts at home. We got to do better. They got to do better. Mom, if you ask me, failed her children. This is why we heard dad come out and speak, and mom didn't say a damn thing. And yes, I believe that mom should feel a large level of responsibility for this, because this ain't the first time this man was violent. This man was violent to her. This man was violent to the kids. She's probably seen it and ignored it, let it go, because she wanted to lay up under her man. She wanted to be there for her man. She wanted to get her own personal pleasures from her man. Mom's personal pleasures were more important than the future of those kids. Damn, I know that hurt. But it's the freaking truth. And when in America we gonna start dealing with the truth, that's the only way that we're gonna make some progress. If y'all want real change, it has to start at home, at the foundation. Biological mother, biological father gotta come together and start really building a solid foundation for these kids. Because laying up under niggas like this is not getting you anywhere except for in a grave. That's it. There was nothing special about that dude that he was able to go from woman after woman after woman after. You gotta have more self-esteem about yourself. Sisters, I love y'all. Women, ladies, mothers, I love y'all so much to be able to tell y'all the damn truth. There is no penis that is worth the life of your children. Just because you enjoy that man, I'm sorry, but your priority should be your children, not your own personal pleasures. There was absolutely nothing about that individual that he should have been around anybody's damn kids. He should never have a woman. And matter of fact, like I say, if they decide to give him the death penalty, we won't even have to worry about it even after that. So hopefully he won't get another shot in society. Hope they launch him on an experimental spaceship, launch his ass into outer space for what he did to them kids. He don't deserve atmosphere, he don't deserve life, and he don't deserve respect. That's me putting it real nice, because I want to say some really, really harsh things. Let me put some respect on these babies' names. To the two that have passed away, RIP. To the one who was fighting for his life and surviving, we put our prayer hands up in the chat. Young Ashton, please pull through. Young Prince, please pull through. To the dad, I hope you understand my words, and we definitely grieve with you, okay? Thank you guys so much for listening to the story. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the AFC podcast. We're going to continue to keep shining a light where we believe that it needs to be shined at. You heard me? I'm DJ Judge J. We're the AFC. It's not a me thing, it's a we thing, okay? Guys, I got a couple more stories. So this is story number 1. I do have 2 more to tell y'all if you don't mind. I have 2 more stories to tell you. Let me see if I can get this next one up for you. We're going to talk about here, and then we're going to talk about a positive story. How about that? We actually have a positive story to present tonight. So hopefully y'all can appreciate that. As I know, it's really difficult to listen to a lot of the things that we talk about on this channel, but I want to remind you guys, there is nothing that is more difficult than what we listen to as opposed to what these children actually have to live through. And I'm sure the majority of the people in the chat understand that. Let me thank a couple of people. Emily, if you're in the chat, let me see if Emily is still in the chat. Let me see if I can find her. Emily Nelson, who is in the chat, I got to show you some big love if you are still out there listening. And Emily said, love your videos, and sent in a very, very nice donation by way of Venmo, and then did it a second time. And Emily said, I had to donate a second time to cover all of your great content. I have binged in the past week while doing homework, I think. And thank you so much. So what she's saying is that she's went back and watched a lot of our videos and our content. And like I said, I go back and watch my videos sometimes. I know that might sound weird, but I actually do go back and listen to myself to really just kind of just sometimes hear what I sound like, but sometimes I'm amazed at what I say. I'm not trying to really pat myself on the back or nothing, but sometimes I'll be like, damn, that's pretty deep. Because a lot of times I just see a story, talk about a story, and I just speak from the heart. Okay? But I'm so honored that people are willing to support me in that type of way. Let me also say thank you. I missed a couple of super chats in there. If you guys are listening, if you donate in the super chat, I'm sorry if I missed it. Can I see them? Let me see. I can't. Damn it. If y'all donate in the super chat, I want to say thank you also. But again, don't forget, if you donate in the super chat, YouTube was going to take 30% of it. So if you donate in there, I always ask, I don't want to tell y'all what to do if you decide to spend your finances. But if it's 20 or less, then I'm like, okay, cool. If it's more than that, if you would, I ask that you utilize the PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App, because it's not going to charge you any fees, and it's not going to charge me a fee either. But YouTube will take 30%. Let me show some love right now to Mookie Lolo. Said, always kudos, the whole AFC. Keep doing great work, Jay. Much love, bro. Mookie Lolo, much love right back to you. You know I always appreciate you. Let me say thank you, Leanne Engel. If you are out there, and I'm going to tell y'all, Leanne always knocks it right out the park like a home run. Said, hi, Jay, unable to watch tonight, but I wanted to thank you again for all your hard work. Leanne Engel, if you are listening, from my heart to yours, thank you so much. And Leanne sent in a very, very nice PayPal. Let me also again say thank you to Candace G, if you're listening. And that's in Venmo. I'm not sure if these other ones will come up. Leanne Eversley. And also Miss Nisi. Miss Nisi, wow. Miss Nisi really, really always shows me big time love. And she's in the chat right now. I want to say thank you again to you from the last few shows. Thank you very much. Pamela Trickett, if you're listening, thank you. Kinshasa said, bravo, Jay. Thank you, Kinshasa, who was in the chat. Lashana C said, hashtag AFC. To Pretty P, if you're listening, thank you. Jimmy D, thank you. Katie Talk TV, if you're listening, thank you as well. Let's talk about these two beige-skinned individuals on my screen. Can we get a hashtag mom's boyfriend in the chat? Because that is going to be an ongoing theme, apparently. Said, look at what the child's t-shirt says. Did I miss it? Let me go back. What did I miss? I don't think I had the kid's t-shirt up here. Well, maybe that comment wasn't for me. I'm not sure. But nonetheless, let's talk about this story. Comes out of Flint, Michigan. Oh my goodness. I know some people out there. I can't remember who is that lives out there in Flint. Does anybody in the chat live in Michigan? Or Flint, Michigan in particular? Because I'm getting ready to talk about Flint, Michigan again in a negative way that y'all are not going to like. So you better brace yourself because I'm about to talk about y'all damn city again. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go again with another story out of Flint, Michigan. And it's a narrative that we've been talking about for the past 3 years, going on 4 years. Mom's boyfriend. How many of these stories am I going to have to do before we get it, before we understand, and stop putting our children in stupid situations when we are the custodial parents? Huh? But in this particular case, not only is mom's boyfriend suspected, but I'm gonna call them guilty because they just got guilty looking faces. Do they not? Like, I might be wrong for judging a book by its cover, but I haven't been wrong in 3 years, huh? They just look like they're guilty in the face. Okay? Flint, Michigan, I don't know what the hell that water and those Legionnaires are doing to these people out there, but it seems like it's eating up their damn brains and eating up their faces and their hair, because these individuals, these beige individuals, look crazy as hell. What is this? What's that, 2.5? A 2.5-year-old boy suffered third-degree burns at the hands of his mother and her boyfriend, according to the Genesee County Prosecutor's Office. Third-degree burns. Picture that in your mind for a moment, for almost a 3-year-old. The child is currently clinging to life as we speak. So the child is alive. Let's put some respect and let's put some love in the chat and pray that this child survives, okay? But the DA says that this child has all kind of issues behind being burned. But let me explain what happened. His office charged a Flint couple with 5 felonies. Layton made it clear they're innocent until proven guilty, but he believes the two deliberately hurt this toddler baby and then waited. I repeat, they waited for 24 hours before calling for help. They waited 24 hours before calling for help. It's so severe, Layton said. The pictures are just really, really distressing to look at. And I'm going to warn y'all, when y'all see these pictures, you're going to see some of the burns. You're not going to see everything. Because, you know, obviously we have to kind of tone down the things that we show on the show so we don't get flagged or anything, okay? And thank you, Miss June, for posting that link in the chat there. Also, if you guys are watching this, please click that thumbs up. We're doing really well with the thumbs up right now. But you can always help share this stream and let more people know where we're at. Please subscribe and also please hit that thumbs up. Because we're going to continue to keep giving love and support and also exposure for these babies. We're going to give them a voice. He's really in tough shape. He said that the abuse happened at the boy's home inside an apartment complex near downtown Flint. It's believed to have happened on February the 3rd, But Layton said that the boy's mother, by the name of Kiana Pope, who's 27 years old. Let me get that picture off the screen. That looks so horrible. 27-year-old Kiana Pope and her boyfriend, 24-year-old Kenyatta Gardner, so that means that the mom is older than her boyfriend, agreed not to say anything. So it sounds like they cared more about what was going to happen to them, to themselves, these selfish bastards, than what they did to this little boy. Layton said they called the police 24 hours after the fact because the toddler wasn't breathing. What we think happened is that the child was having some issues with potty training. And I've told you guys, this is why parenting can be a difficult thing. It can be a frustrating thing. And parenting is never meant for you to do it by yourself. It is meant for you to have a lot of help, a lot of education, and a lot of patience. How many of you guys out there understand that? I think most people in my chat that are listening right now, you can see them in there typing. Most people in the chat understand that when you have children, you have to have a ton of patience, a lot of patience. They got upset that this child was having potty training issues. And he said that I think that the mother and the boyfriend may have been upset about that. And they threw this boy in a bathtub, and the bathtub had scalding hot water. It's not clear how long the toddler was left in the water, but it burned him on both sides of his body, from his stomach down to his knees. The bright red color that y'all saw in those pictures only emphasizes how horrific these injuries are. It burned the goddamn skin off of this kid. And I know y'all don't like me using the Lord's name in vain. I'm sorry. But I want to express myself right now the best that I can, because I'm just really bothered by this. I've been burned by scalding hot water, boiling hot water before, because I dropped it on myself. When I was a kid, I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to boil some hot water, put it in a plastic cup, and I wasn't paying attention and accidentally knocked that cup over, and all of that water, hot ass water, fell into my lap. It was unbelievably painful. It is just, and what's so crazy about it is that type of pain, there is nothing you can do about it. And the more you think about it, it hurts and continues to burn. And then when you think that it stops for a moment, then it gets worse all over again. And it just never, ever, ever stops. The worst kind of pain. He has all sorts of issues, beginning with renal failure and many, many other issues. He's really not functioning, Layton said. You know, I'm always baffled when I have these child abuse cases. Matter of fact, with what he's saying there, I'll just let you guys hear his statement, because he actually spoke about it. But he did say that Pope and Gardner are facing 5 felony charges each, including first-degree child abuse, torture, and child abuse in the presence of another child. I repeat, they did this in the presence of another child. Layton believes that Pope's daughter, who was about 4 years old, was in the residence when the young boy was allegedly abused. If convicted, Pope and Gardner both face life in prison. And if you ask me, life in prison seems to be an appropriate measure for what they did to this kid, if not worse. The Genesee Prosecutor County's office is currently working with the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and Child Protective Services to terminate Pope's parental rights. Layton said that the children's biological father is in the area, and it's possible he may take custody, and I hope that he does. Let me give you guys the fair usage, and then I'll give y'all my opinion right after that. Let's get it.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
All right, sorry, I cut a little premature. Here we go.
6. The child is clinging to life as we speak. He has all sorts of issues.
The Genesee County prosecutor tells us a 2.5-year-old boy suffered third-degree burns at the hands of his mother and her boyfriend. The Flint couple now charged with 5 felonies, accused not only of first-degree child abuse and torture, but also waiting 24 hours before they even called for help.
New at 6 o'clock, our Ann Perrette takes us through the disturbing reason believed to have led to the abuse and the injuries he is now fighting through. We do want to warn you, the images we're about to show you are difficult to see.
The Genesee County prosecutor says a 2.5-year-old Flint boy is clinging to life after suffering burns on half of his body over a potty training accident. If convicted, his mother and her boyfriend, believed responsible for this abuse, face up to life in prison.
It is so severe. The pictures are just really, really distressing to look at. I feel really bad for the little fellow. He's really in tough shape.
Prosecutor David Layton says the abuse happened at the boy's home inside an apartment complex near downtown Flint. It's believed to have happened on Wednesday, February 3rd, but Layton says the boy's mom, 27-year-old Kiana Pope, and her boyfriend, 24-year-old Kenyatta Gardner, agreed to not say anything. It wasn't until 24 hours later when they called police because Layton says the toddler wasn't breathing.
What we think happened is the child was having some issues with potty training, and I think that the mother and the boyfriend may have been upset about that, and they threw him in the bathtub, and the bathtub had scalding hot water.
We do want to warn you, the images we're going to show you of what that abuse caused are disturbing. It's not clear how long the toddler was left in the scalding hot water, but it burned him on both sides of his body, from his stomach down to about his knees. The bright red color only emphasizing how horrific the injuries are.
He has all sorts of issues, beginning with renal failure and many, many other issues. He's really not functioning. You know, I'm always baffled when I have these child abuse cases. Why would anybody want to deliberately hurt a child? I just don't understand it. I don't understand it in this case, and I don't understand it in any of the cases.
Pope and Gardner are facing 5 felonies each, including first-degree child abuse, torture, and child abuse in the presence of another child, because the prosecutor says Pope's daughter, who's about 4 years old, was there at the time. In Flint, I'm Ann Perrette, ABC 12 News.
Absolutely unbelievable. Thank you so much for that. And the prosecutor's office is working now with the state health department and Child Protective Services to terminate Pope's parental rights. Prosecutor Layton says their biological father is in the area. It's possible he may take custody.
Unfortunately, according to the latest state data, child abuse cases in our state have been underreported for nearly a year. This all started when the pandemic began. In 2020, Michigan investigated nearly 64,000 cases of child abuse. That is down from over 96,000 cases in 2018 and 94,000 cases in 2019. The biggest drop in calls was in March 2020 when students were no longer in school. However, CPS says calls have picked back up as more and more kids head back to class. Now, if you suspect a child is being abused or neglected, or you're struggling to care for your own child, call the number on your screen. That will put you in touch with the state anytime, day or night.
Just to the south of us in...
All right, let me go ahead and give you guys my closing thoughts about this particular story. Like I say, I believe that the worst thing, I think that, matter of fact, I believe that, and y'all can tell me if I'm wrong about this, but I believe that a mother, a woman, being able to, even having the ability, the God-given ability to give birth and give life in this world is one of the most beautiful things. It's a very precious thing. It's a gift. It is a gift that should be honored. And I think most women, I know it's not all, but I think most women understand how precious that gift is, especially there are a lot of mothers out there that wish they could give birth and have not been able to, just because their bodies haven't been able to, or it's just not in God's will, however you want to look at it. And then you have these idiots who continue to have these babies for the benefits that they can collect from these kids, hashtag babies for benefits, that just pop out kids just because they get things for having these kids. Housing, Section 8, food stamps, car vouchers, child support, control over a man mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And then you have a child that you feel like is subservient. I have never used that word on this channel. That is subservient to the mother. Like you feel like this is your personal slave, you know, your personal person that's supposed to love you unconditionally. It's like, it seems like too many people, it's not all, but it's too many people, all they do is use these kids. That's why I came up with the hashtag years ago, hashtag babies for benefits. If y'all ever see anybody talk about that or post it, you can always let them know that they got it from the AFC. That's what we stand for. And we continue to create these unique hashtags because I want it to be memorable. I want people to remember why I say the harsh things that I do. I'm not just being an ass for no reason. I'm being an ass because these children are suffering. They are suffering in silence because nobody is giving them a voice. Nobody cares about them, especially when you have people talking about that children should respect their parents, and I'm a parent and I don't have to give my kid respect, which is wrong and it's backwards. I'm going to tell you how you're supposed to treat your children. Give your children respect first. Can somebody post that in the chat for me? Let me know y'all heard my words. I am speaking some real live love right now. Give your children respect first. Don't force your children to give you respect. You give them respect first. From the moment that they are born, once you give respect, respect will reciprocate. Yes? Respect will reciprocate. Remember, I come from a youth counseling background, and I'm telling you, I know it works. But you have to start early, and you have to have structure for these kids. You can't just half-ass being a parent and then expect to have awesome results. It just don't work that way. So shout out to our awesome parents. Shout out to the people who understand. A lot of people get it. But again, you have people like this that we need to continue to call out and cast them out of our society. If you see something, please say something. When you see people abusing kids, don't kick back and don't say anything. You record them, you call the police, you do what it is that you need to do. But I'd much rather you call and report them and be wrong rather than don't say anything and another child suffers in silence. I would much rather put our system to work and have them do their damn investigations. But at the end of the day, the failure falls at the feet of the biological parents, biological mother and biological father, and that's why we got to start working together better. Men have to start making better choices with our sexuality, with our semen, with our seeds, before we decide to give our seeds to unrighteous soil. Yes? Yes, our women have to be held responsible too, but if us as men weren't just recklessly out here procreating and giving our seed to women that don't deserve it, then we could cut down on a lot of this together. Please understand where I'm coming from. I'm speaking from a place of love. So please, before you get mad at me, get mad at the situations that are happening to these children on a day-to-day basis. Get mad at the fact that I have things to talk about, stories that people email me. My email address is theafcmatters@gmail.com. I get my email full all the time, and I'm thankful that people care. If you see something, say something. Take care of your home. Take care of your neighborhood. Take care of your cities and your states, and we can get better in our generation, okay? But I hope that they get life in prison, and if they have a harsher penalty, I'd say give it to them. They deserve it. I hope that little boy pulls through. So put a prayer hands up in the chat for that innocent boy and also for that girl who witnessed the torture. The little girl that was in the house that had to watch this. We put a prayer hands up for both of those children, okay? Thank you guys so much for listening to the story. I'm DJ Just J. Our heart is always for the children, okay? Thank you guys so much. Ladies and gentlemen, this particular story came up in the news, and I'm thankful that the Amber Alert system, let me say that again. I am so thankful that the Amber Alert system exists. I'm sorry the fact that the little girl Amber that passed away, that allowed this great, wonderful system to come in existence, had to die for us to be able to save more lives. But I'm going to tell y'all, this Amber Alert went out, and it went out at the right place at the right time, and it just seemed like divine intervention stood for this little girl right here, this 10-year-old girl. But let me first tell y'all about the individual in the middle who is not human. This dude is literally Satan's son. This is the devil's son, and his name is Michael Roy Serial. Yes, you heard that right, Serial. Not like Tony the Tiger. Serial is spelled S-E-R-E-A-L. He is 33 years old, and I am ashamed to say that this dude is out of Louisiana, because I like Louisiana. I got a lot of love for the people out there, especially in New Orleans. Shout out to the NOLA, shout out to Baton Rouge, to the BR, and all of those places. This dude is out of New Iberia, and this man is accused of kidnapping a 10-year-old girl on Sunday night, and he has a history of failing to follow state sex offender rules according to the records. This is not my words. Hashtag not my words. This is actually on the books. You guys can look this up if you think I'm lying, or if y'all talk about I got my facts wrong. Michael Roy Serial, 33 years old, of New Iberia, is being held with no bond in the Iberia Parish Jail, booked with aggravated kidnapping of a child and failure to register as a sex offender. Let me preface this before I give you guys the rest of the information. The reason why this girl's name, face, and age is out there is because they were trying to find her. She was the subject of an Amber Alert, and because of that, they have to put out her pertinent information: name, age, height, race, what she was wearing, and a picture. So that's pretty standard. So I don't want you guys to misunderstand why her picture is out there. So you clearly understand that's not in violation of the law. That's actually perfectly within the realm of the law, okay? Now, the child was found safe Monday morning, and Serial was arrested. The child was evaluated by medical personnel on Monday. The two men working their trash route, who are, let me see if I can get those individuals on my screen, because there was two of them. Let me see if I can find them. These guys, these two men were working their trash route on Monday morning, and they spotted the car that they were looking for, which was that car on the right-hand side. They spotted that car, which police say that the girl was kidnapped last night in. According to court records in Iberia Parish, Serial was charged with forcible rape of a 14-year-old in May of 2006. Let that marinate for a moment. For all of the women that probably was dealing with this dude was probably living up in some woman's house with your kids and all of that. I want y'all to look at the face of a pedophile, the face of a hebephile, or whatever the hell it is. If y'all was ever gonna call somebody that name, this might be the perfect time to do it. That's what a face of a pedophile looks like. He kidnapped and raped a 14-year-old in May of 2006, and I'm assuming that's a female. It might not be, though. However, he was allowed to plead guilty to a lesser charge of carnal knowledge of a juvenile in October of 2006. A 16th Judicial Court judge then sentenced Serial to 10 years hard labor, but suspended that sentence and placed him on supervised probation for 5 years under a plea agreement with the state. As part of that agreement, Serial was required to register as a sex offender with the state. However, court records show that Serial violated the terms of his probation and the court revoked it in February of 2007. Serial was then ordered to serve the original 10-year sentence with all but 6 months off of it suspended. He was ordered to have a 5-year probation when he was released from jail. I hope you guys are following this. The following year, in August of 2008, court records show that Serial admitted to violating that probation, and the court amended his sentence to 6 years hard labor, which he would have to serve at the oh Lord, I can't pronounce that. Avoyelles, whatever. Avoyelles. Avoyelles, whatever. Parish prison in Marksville. Okay, whatever. I can't pronounce it. On April 1st of 2009, Serial requested an appeal of his sentence while he was in prison, which was denied 1 week later. So he tried to appeal his sentence and it was denied. On January 21st of 2016, Serial was charged with failure to pay the annual registration fee, the sexual registration fee, and failure to notify and register as a sex offender or a child predator. He pled guilty to that charge on November 15th of 2016 as part of a plea agreement and was sentenced to serve 6 months in jail. On October 18th of 2019, Serial was again charged with failure to notify and register as a sex offender or a child predator. During his arraignment hearing on June 3rd of 2020, Serial pled not guilty to the charge. And guess, guys, we're still going. We're still going. On September 8th of 2020, the Sexual Predator Apprehension Team of the Louisiana Attorney General's Office requested the criminal records of Serial's charge of the carnal knowledge of a juvenile in October of 2006. On December 17th of 2020, court records show that Serial failed to appear and an arrest warrant was issued on December 22nd of 2020. However, that warrant was recalled during a hearing of January 27th of this year. During that hearing, Serial had his address changed with the court, and pretrial hearing was set for March 18th for his previous charge of failure to register as a sex offender. A trial date was set for April the 5th. Do y'all understand that this fool has a big problem, and now he's going to compound his problems by being charged with the kidnap of this 10-year-old girl? But let me show you guys the videos and let me give you the fair usage. Let's get it.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
On their Monday morning trash route, 2 sanitation workers in New Iberia made an observation, saving a missing 10-year-old girl.
I just seen this gray car parked in the field. There was a dude who had a little 10-year-old girl. I just saved that little girl's life, bro. I just saved that little girl's life, bro. Thank God, bro.
Dion Merrick and Brandon Antoine work for Pelican Waste. As Merrick explains in this Facebook Live video, they received an Amber Alert in the middle of the night on their phones for a 10-year-old girl who was believed to be abducted Sunday afternoon. Around 7 a.m., they recognized the car in question.
And something told me, bro. Something told me. Like, just look. I said, what that car doing way ducked off in the field like that?
They pulled the garbage truck over to the wrong side of the highway to block it in and called 911.
Yeah, make sure you couldn't get out.
This Facebook Live video now has hundreds of thousands of views with comments on their heroic actions. Many, including the St. John the Baptist Parish Sheriff, offering to buy the men lunch.
I was just doing my job, man. I was just doing my job. And actually came across somebody who needed help, bro. It got me tearing up right now, dog.
The New Iberia Police Department says 33-year-old Michael Serial was arrested for aggravated kidnapping. The 10-year-old girl, whose identity we are no longer sharing, is safe.
Hey, God, bro. That's why I say, man, that man is real. A lot of people don't believe in him, but they need to stop believing in him, cuz.
The men told me over the phone they've since been in touch with the girl's family, who is overwhelmingly grateful.
It's just an emotional time right now throughout the city. Just happy they found the little girl.
Merrick hopes his story reminds others to stay focused.
I'm just so happy and blessed that I actually, seen the call and we actually, responded like we were supposed to respond.
After their heroic actions, it was back to work to finish their shift.
Came through, bro. Saved the life, bro.
And the little girl back to her family.
Always a positive. We got her.
Erica Ferrando, Eyewitness News.
Your heroes among us. As for the man arrested for that kidnapping, there is a man by the same name who is the same age, who's a registered sex offender in New Iberia, although the police department would not confirm it is the same person.
Well, I'ma confirm it is the same person. It's that fool, okay? But let me get off of him just for a second. I hope you guys don't mind, because this is a positive story. So let me put the focus where it needs to be. That is an ugly boy with them. What is that on his face? Like he's got like a herpes wart on his face or something? I told y'all about people with these neck and face tattoos. They're red flags. They are warning signs, whether y'all believe it or not. Let me put the focus where it needs to be on these two guys, and let me tell you why. Because these two individuals saw something and they said something. And not only did they say something, they're grown men. These men were willing to risk their freedom by taking their vehicle and parking it, blocking that dude in, and potentially jumping in to stop that dude from trying to retreat and all of that good stuff. The fact that they jumped into action, I think that's exactly why we need men. And I'm thankful that if they are fathers, that they stepped in and they were willing to do the right thing. They saw something, they said something, and that is exactly how you make your society better. When you see something's wrong, you do what you can to report it. We do it the legal way. And I'm so proud of these young men. We're probably about the same age, but I'm going to still call them young men. So I want to salute these brothers out there in Louisiana. I'm going to tell y'all, I am going to go back to Louisiana. And when I do go back out there, I'm not exactly sure how far where they live is from where I'm going to be visiting, but I would love to be able to deliver them some t-shirts, some AFC t-shirts, buy them lunch or something. But I'm absolutely thankful, and I shout these brothers out for doing the right thing. So salute to them. And this is a positive story, and this is why the Amber Alert system, it works. Okay, this is another instance, saved another life, and we were able to get this young girl back on the right track, okay? I apologize about the coughing, but nonetheless, thank you guys so much for coming through. Listen to this stream, listening with an open mind and an open heart. And thank you guys so much for subscribing to the channel. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe on your way out. There is no reason for that dude to ever get out of prison again. Lock his big, nasty face up in prison. Don't never let this fool out. Don't plea agreement with him. Don't do nothing. Get him out of here. All right? You guys have a great day. You guys have a great evening. Have a great night. And we'll see you guys on the next stream, okay? See y'all later. Peace. Sorry about all the coughing again, guys. I'm so sorry about that. Thank you to Jessica E in the PayPal. Said thank you for speaking for these babies. So thank you very much. Also, again, thank you to Sheena M. Thank you. Again, Miss Nisi, Leanne, all of you guys. Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great night. Make sure you guys become channel members. It's really cheap to do it. Click that dollar symbol and it should say join channel membership. So we want to see you, more of you guys join that channel membership, okay? Be a part of the AFC family, man. Make this platform your platform. From my heart to yours. Love you guys. Thank y'all so much. You guys have a great night. Peace.
Hey there, listeners. Are you looking for authentic design from brands like Louis Vuitton, Prada, Coach, Gucci, Michael Kors, and so much more at a price that you can actually afford? Well, let me introduce you to Nora's Authentic Designer handbags, shoes, and accessories, where we have designs to meet all of your needs. All items are 100% authentic, brand new, and being sold at prices you don't want to miss out on. Find us on Tradesy.com, at Nora's 915, or email us at norasauthenticdesign@gmail.com. Hey there, listeners! Are you looking for authentic design from brands like Louis Vuitton, Prada, Coach, Gucci, Michael Kors, and so much more at a price that you can actually afford? Well, let me introduce you to Nora's Authentic Designer handbags, shoes, and accessories, where we have designs to meet all of your needs. All items are 100% authentic, brand new, and being sold at prices you don't want to miss out on. Find us today on Tradesy.com, at Nora's 915, or email us at norasauthenticdesign@gmail.com.
Hello listeners, come mask up with Keyline Designs, where you reap what we sow. We offer essential handcrafted face masks made with 100% cotton, equipped with a built-in filter and a slot for refillable filters. Our masks have many uses, like riding motorcycles, ATVs, while out in public places, outside exercising, lawn and gardening, and helps prevent the spread of germs. We offer bling, sports logos, monograms, many assorted fabrics and colors. We make child-size masks starting at the age of 2. Come join us today for the launch of our new website at keylinedesigns.com. Please be sure to like and follow our page on Facebook. Our links can be found in the description box of this video. Thank you.